Landlocked Countries' new opportunity. In the heart of the Horn of Africa lies Ethiopia, a nation of ancient civilizations, resilient people, and remarkable potential. From the highlands of Tigray to the lush valleys of Oromia, Ethiopia's landscapes are a testament to its enduring history. Yet, despite this wealth of culture, resources, and human capital, Ethiopia faces a challenge that has shaped its destiny for decades. It is landlocked. Since Eritrea's independence in 1993, Ethiopia has relied on neighboring countries for access to the sea. Every shipment of goods, every export, every container traveling to international markets must pass through foreign ports and transit corridors. This geographic limitation has significant economic and political implications. Increasing costs, slowing trade, and affecting livelihoods across the nation. Being landlocked is more than a geographical condition. It is a daily reality that touches every Ethiopian household. Farmers see crops delayed at foreign ports. Exporters struggle with tariffs and bureaucratic hurdles, and businesses contend with unpredictable supply chains. Yet, in the face of these challenges, Ethiopia's story is one of resilience and determination. History reminds us that Ethiopia was once connected to the world through the Red Sea and Indian Ocean trade. The ancient kingdom of Aksum exported gold, ivory, and coffee. Its merchants sailed across the Red Sea to Arabia, India, and beyond. Medieval ports such as Massawa and Assab were gateways for commerce and cultural exchange. Ethiopia's prosperity was tied to these maritime corridors, but history changed. Colonial ambitions, shifting borders, and Eritrea's independence severed Ethiopia's direct access to the sea. Centuries of connectivity were replaced by dependence on foreign ports. The cost of isolation became visible in delayed shipments, higher prices, and slower economic growth. Yet Ethiopia refused to let geography define its destiny. In January 2024, Ethiopia took a historic step by signing an agreement with Somaliland, granting access to the Gulf of Aden. This was more than a logistics arrangement. It was a statement of intent. Ethiopia would not be constrained by borders. Somalia, asserting claims over Somaliland, raised objections and regional tensions surfaced. Yet Ethiopia prioritized dialogue over confrontation, seeking diplomacy and partnership rather than conflict. Simultaneously, Ethiopia continues its vital cooperation with Djibouti, whose ports serve as the lifeline for most Ethiopian imports and exports. The Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway exemplifies modern infrastructure, overcoming historical constraints, ensuring more efficient movement of goods. Engagements with Eritrea and ongoing negotiations with Somalia further demonstrate Ethiopia's regional strategy, building resilience through partnership while respecting sovereignty.
Central to Ethiopia's development strategy is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on the Blue Nile. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has affirmed that the dam is now an irreversible reality, symbolizing Ethiopia's ability to harness its natural resources for energy, irrigation, and economic development. Yet the dam also underscores the complexities of regional cooperation. As downstream neighbors express concern about water management and equitable use, Ethiopia has emphasized dialogue and transparency, aiming to balance national development with regional stability. vulnerability. At the third Conference on Landlocked Developing Countries, held in Awaza, Turkmenistan, Secretary General António Guterres reminded the world that geography must never define a nation's destiny. He highlighted the unique challenges faced by the 32 landlocked developing countries, emphasizing that limited access to the sea, inadequate infrastructure, and vulnerability to climate change often deepen inequality. Guterres stressed that these challenges are not inevitable. They are the result of systemic neglect and structural barriers, compounded by historical legacies.
Guterres called for enhanced international cooperation, equitable financing, and the full implementation of the Awaza Program of Action, a 10-year framework from 2024 to 2034. This program aims to improve trade, facilitation, develop infrastructure, strengthen climate resilience, and integrate landlocked countries into the global economy. The UN Secretary General emphasized that the success of these nations is inseparable from the success of the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. Ethiopia's national strategy reflects these principles. Beyond securing port access, the country is investing in roads, railways, industrial parks, and digital trade platforms. Renewable energy initiatives, such as hydropower and solar projects, are fueling industrial growth and ensuring sustainable development. Farmers are connecting to regional and international markets. Entrepreneurs are exporting goods digitally, and engineers are building the infrastructure of a future Ethiopia, connected both regionally and globally. The human dimension is central to Ethiopia's progress. In rural areas, improved roads bring farmers produce to urban centers and international markets faster than ever before. Small and medium-sized businesses benefit from digital logistics solutions, enabling them to compete globally. Students are gaining access to education and training that empower them to participate in trade, technology, and innovation. Every initiative, every corridor, every partnership reflects a broader vision to transform geographic limitations into opportunities for growth, resilience, and prosperity. Yet the question raised by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed 1.6 years ago remains a guiding reflection. What is the fate of Ethiopia? This inquiry encapsulates the nation's ongoing journey, striving to balance internal development, regional diplomacy, and integration into the global economy. Ethiopia's fate, he implied, is not predetermined by its landlocked status. It will be defined by strategy, leadership, and the ability to harness opportunity. Ethiopia's diplomatic engagements illustrate a nuanced approach to regional integration. Agreements with Djibouti, Somaliland, and ongoing negotiations with Eritrea and Somalia are part of a broader vision for trade diversification and regional stability. These partnerships are complemented by investments in industrial zones, logistics hubs, and modern highways, creating corridors of opportunity that connect Ethiopia to global markets. Climate resilience is another critical factor. Ethiopia faces recurrent droughts, floods, and environmental challenges. Integrating climate adaptation into infrastructure and agriculture ensures that economic gains are sustainable. Secretary General Guterres emphasized that building resilience against climate risks is as important as developing trade corridors, particularly for landlocked nations vulnerable to external shocks. Regional cooperation is equally vital. Ethiopia's efforts demonstrate that landlocked countries can thrive through strategic partnerships, respecting borders while fostering economic interdependence. By aligning national development with regional collaboration, Ethiopia is setting an example for other landlocked countries across Africa and beyond. As the LLDC3 conference highlighted, global solidarity is key. Financial institutions, international partners, and regional governments must provide equitable financing, affordable credit, and debt relief to unlock the potential of landlocked nations. Ethiopia's experience underscores this necessity. Strategic investment, partnerships, and vision can transform constraints into opportunity, while neglect or isolation can exacerbate vulnerabilities. Ethiopia's journey from January 2024 through LLDC3 and beyond is a story of resilience, vision, and ambition. From port negotiations to industrial expansion, from infrastructure development to renewable energy, the nation demonstrates that landlocked status does not equal limitation. It is a challenge to be addressed, a test of leadership and strategy, and ultimately, an opportunity to redefine what is possible. The question of Ethiopia's fate remains open, but the trajectory is clear. Through innovation, diplomacy, regional cooperation, and inclusive development, Ethiopia is writing a new chapter, one in which geography no longer dictates destiny. The people of Ethiopia, empowered by leadership, partnerships, and resilience, are transforming obstacles into avenues of opportunity, creating a future that is prosperous, interconnected, and sustainable.
Subscribe to my channel.